you need it in the Spirit Temple. And for damage, like damaging yourself. I'm going to start by going to the bottom of the well to get bomb chews. If you guys watched the All Dungeons run, ZFG took the bottom of the well route, and that was basically, it's because he couldn't do the Wrong Warp because he needed to do the RBA route. So I need to do this because Wrong Warp's not allowed in this category, hence the name, no RBA Wrong Warp. And the only other chews that are really efficient to get are the ones in Ganon's Castle. Alright. So I did a little trick there called Bridge Clip to get onto the bridge to grab that the blue 5 rupees. And it's a few seconds faster than running behind the house and grabbing the rupees. So it's been routed in recently. Alright. Now for Poke Escape, what's going to happen is I'm going to need to crouch stab the wall next to the guy, the Kakiri, blocking the exit, or entrance, I guess, and talk to him on the frame Link is pulling back his sword, like that. And it activates this glitch called ISG, which stands for Infinite Sword Glitch, and basically it registers Link's sword as constantly attacking, because you interrupt an actual attack, and so you're standing there, and even though you're not swinging your sword, the sword's still actively attacking at all times. And that like allows you to do a bunch of other fun stuff, like hovering in midair, because when Link's swinging his sword, you can't run off edges, and so if you're just like stuck in midair with ISG, you just hover there. So it's used to break the game in a few different ways. It also allows you to clip into that guy that you saw and then roll under him to escape the forest. The next glitch I'll probably be doing is the water extended super slide, which what happens is when you recoil off something with, say, a jump slash, it sends Link flying back at a high velocity, and if you hit water and hold a certain position on your control stick, it causes Link to retain that momentum, and you kind of do this slide. It's the ESS position, it's called, extended super slide position. It causes Link to do this slide past the owl, and the owl won't talk to you, thankfully, and you'll go right into Kakariko Village, and it saves time, and also allows me to get to the castle town before nighttime. Not this owl, it's the next owl.
There is a way to skip this one as well, but it's very hard and requires the deck stick or the slingshot, or even both, I guess.
Yeah, it is. You need, well, just the deck stick you can do it.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm Greg, or Gregor Tixlikins. This is Tava. Turn your vocal. That's Autumn.
And I'm Amberwin.
So I can ask the water extender super slide, hopefully.
Hopefully.
What?
So you have the strats for all the blankets.
That too, right now.
So now I have to take this chicken, and what I can do is I can get ISG off this chicken and pick it up, and the chicken doesn't get upset like with my sword attacking it right away until I place it down. And what that does is it activates the chicken as being like upset cutscene. And what I can do is I can backflip into the well right when that cutscene starts, and it allows me to fall through the water because it unloads the water during the cutscene. It's known as cutscene diving. So now I'm in the bottom of the well.
Cutscene diving is a pretty common trick in the Zelda games. You can do it in Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, Fire Princess, as well as Wind Waker.
That skill check can be a little tricky sometimes. The next glitch that's coming up, I'm going to open a door with this key that I'm getting, and I'm going to do it during the cutscene of Link coming out of a crawl space. And what that does is it loads some of the actors or objects in the next room, but since you're still in the cutscene of exiting the crawl space, there, I just did it. I'm still in the cutscene of exiting the crawl space. So it loads the next room, but Link stays in the previous room. So what that does is it unloads some of the actors or objects in this room, including the water that I'm walking on right now. And since that water is unloaded, I can just drop right through this water that's non-existent and go right to Dead Hand's room. You actually don't, like, killing Dead Hand isn't part of the run to get shoes. It's just something you have to do because you need to reload this room I'm in now. So you have to kill him in order to get back to the room to get to the Skulltula, and I'll explain that in a second. Alright, so Dead Hand has... I can't see what's on. Oh, there we go. Dead Hand has a little animation that shows when he's going to go underground, and if you time a jump slash just right, you can keep him from going underground. I got it the first time, but a perfect cycle would be if I got him twice in a row there. I also need to grab this rupee chest in order to buy a high living shield and run. There it is. Alright, I'm now going to do a glitch called Vine Clip, and this is a very frame perfect trick. And I'm going to do this thing called pause buffering, where you advance the frames of the game like one at a time. And I want to get the Skulltula to spin on a certain frame, and then I'll drop off the vine and re-grab it. And when I re-grab the vine, the Skulltula will hit me on that exact same frame, and I'll clip through the wall into unloaded water. Or out of bounds water, I should say. And that was vine clip. And now I have to swim along this water barrier which is above me, and I can jump slash right into this room with a bottom of the wheel choose right here.
And these are the earliest explosives you can get in the game, so that's where you put them really well. Takes a long time to get the bombs in the target scale.
Yep.
Another way is to warp to Ganon's castle through the Deku tree, but that takes some time as well.
And that's also not allowed in this category.
Yeah,
because
it's the wrong word.
it's no RB or wrong.
Forgot about that.
Alright, so the next step would be to get Zelda's Lullaby, because you need it to make it through the Shadow Temple, and also to get the boss Keen Spirit.
Unlike most other categories, you actually don't need to get a bottle here from the Kuka Lady, which saves some time because you got the ocarina. And in this case, because you use the ocarina for Zelda's Lullaby so often, and you use it for damage buffering, which he'll explain later, it's just much more efficient to get the ocarina and skip the bottle since you don't need it for RBA and you don't need it for ocarina items.
That's right. And what I did right there is I targeted that sign, and the owl can't talk to you when you're targeting something. So basically I could skip past him and make it to the castle town before this bridge goes up. And there's another trick you can do if you manage to turn around and face away from the bridge before it goes up, and you hear the bridge go up, you still have the bridge unloaded and you can climb on the chain of the bridge even though it's nighttime, which is, it's funny because that trick was only found recently, and I'm amazed that no one's thought of it before then, because all you are it's just unloading the bridge when it turns nighttime and tricking the game into still having the bridge being down. This owl I can't skip, so I gotta talk to him. Now I'm gonna take some intentional damage here. The reason for that is, I do this actually in a few different spots in this run, but I take intentional damage so I can kill myself into a cutscene, and what that does is if you kill yourself right as the cutscene starts, the game loads the cutscene and it registers that you watched the cutscene, but since you died, it also registers like the game over screen. So you can just like game over and then continue, and then you'll have the cutscene already done and you won't have to watch the whole thing. You also get any for example, I do it on Zelda's Lullaby. You just kill yourself into the cutscene and you learn the song because the game registered that you watched the cutscene. Right here, I'm going to do a trick called Damage Boost. And what it does is on a certain frame of a bomb shoe exploding, if you do a jump slash, Link retains that like momentum of taking damage, and I can actually use it to boost me up to this ledge up here. So on this frame, I do a jump slash, and I'm up on this ledge now. And I have to wait for daytime in order to enter this area.
Normally, you have to start a team with Melon to get an egg, which we had you could go to make a talent and you could push the blocks.
Also, these guards are amazingly blind, and they have weird, I don't know how their view works, really.
Yeah, sometimes they see too much. They can see through walls and stuff.
Yeah, they can see through walls, but then sometimes they'll be looking right at you, and you can just go right past them.
Another nice thing here is that even though I didn't push the blocks, if it would be caught by the guards would like be in good position, so I get the
Right there.
damage. Yeah, that's so dumb.
They're pretty deaf, too, because Link's yelling pretty loud at this, I know. Alright, so now we're at Zelda. This is a pretty long cutscene.
Time for break. Sleeping.
Yeah. Resident Sleeper, yes.
We don't have a red couch for not blended.
I'm so confused. Why are you there?
I feel comfortable up here, even if I'm not actually touching anything.
I don't know if I can trust that statement.
Okay, I did touch one thing. I fixed the category thing because it wasn't right. That was it. That's all I did.
This is no longer Forbidden Woods. Basically, this is just a really long cutscene where Zelda talks to you forever, and then I have to learn the song, but I'll kill myself and skip it after this.
I think next year I'm going to ask Mike that there needs to be a throw out here.
That's a good idea.
A real throw, not that we used on Street last week.
Oh, we already got the stage. Yeah.
And also, if you're like interested in learning like speedrunning these other games, you can go to speedruns.com. But please don't go there now because you could crash the site probably.
Yeah.
But that's the place to go for this kind of thing.
Yep, Zelda
Good
speedruns. It has a ton of information on speedrunning. There are also a ton of tutorials out there on YouTube and stuff that people have made.
Yeah.
So does Link. That's a lot of it is. As far as I'm aware. As well as Sock Folder.
Hey,
A lot.
hey, Gregory, someone wants to know whose controller you're using. Or which controller?
I'm using the N64 controller, and I have a PC to USB adapter right now that I'm using. And so I hooked it up to that because I love the N64 controller. I don't know, I can't play with like a Wii controller or GameCube. Because when I played this game as a kid, I always played it with N64. So.
You said not playing on PS2.
No, I started on Xbox 360 controller because I didn't have the adapter at first, and that's just awful. Because one of the things is on these controllers they have notches, and this game uses a lot of setups for precise tricks, and the notches help you to make perfect like corner turns or 180-degree turns, and it just helps a ton compared to 360 controller, which you just kind of gotta know where the feel of the controller is, the joystick. Alright, so Zelda's gonna finish talking to me here in a minute and give me the letter. So now I'm gonna place myself right outside of Impa's loading zone. And blow myself up, and there, it starts to load the cutscene, Impa's not actually there, and then the game over screen shows up, and I can just save and continue. And I have Zelda's Lullaby in my inventory now, and I can just talk to Impa right now, and she puts me right outside the castle where you'd normally be after the cutscene. And that's useful because in this category, I don't have to beat all the dungeons, so going to Jabu or somewhere else isn't really necessary. So I can just buy the shield and go straight to being an adult. And you're probably asking, well, I'm sure a lot of you know, but some people might be asking, how are you going to be an adult? You haven't beat all the child dungeons yet. Well, in this game, there is a skip called Door of Time skip, where there's a little opening on the side of the Door of Time, and you can actually do with a very precise angle, you can do a side hop through the door, clip out of bounds, and then jump slash into the door, and get to the other side of it.
Ocarina of Time is one of those things. Because once you're out of bounds, the walls does not matter.
It
Because
doesn't
they're
matter.
only solid on one side.
Mm-hmm.
So if you jump from outside, you can actually click back in. But you're like, so basically, this trick works because Link's hitbox is not as big as you think. Or you would visually think it is.
Yeah. Just the angle. You can, yeah. I might have the wrong angle. There it is.
So basically, you back up into the door, which along with the stairs and everything, which puts you in the right angle.
Mhm.
And what you want to do right then is to slowly, you turn back and just slowly turn to the left, which should put you up in the correct position. After you backflip, and if you roll after a backflip, Link will automatically roll to the right at a certain angle. It's not a straight right angle, but
It's like a side.
yeah, it's
side.
like
It's like a 45 degree angle.
yeah, it's a very, very acute angle. And if you do like a perfect turn to the left, which would align you perfectly, so that when you do the side roll and jump, you will go through perfectly. Because Link's hitbox is like this. I don't know if you, Karen was to see, but yeah, it's like really tall and thin. Which allows them to fit through.
You can also use that to clip through acute angles. in
Yeah.
This game with the jump slash.
A lot of games from this era had that, I think.
Yeah, that's just the design.
Do we have time for some donations?
Oh, did it
It's
did
a
you-
long cutscene.
Yeah, yeah, I know.
Go for it, yeah.
All right. Thank you to Matt M. You have made the goal of 1 million, but I am enjoying these speedruns. Keep it up. $2 from Kitty Rar. Hey guys, although this isn't the biggest donation, I just want to say congrats on reaching 1 million in donations, and also want to say good luck to Fierce on his Resident Evil run. World record hype. I'll let Fierce know. Sorry for not reading that during his run. $10 from Alt Rose. Keep up the good work, Fierce Kyo. RE2 is one of my favorites, and I always enjoy watching your speedruns, especially with Claire. Forever the top RE girl. $5.55 from Wiggles78. 555 for Five Guys. Best burgers in America. Shots fired. $15 from I'm a Radio X. Hey Greg, here's some huge love from Canada. Beat the heck out of this run in Cancer 2. Cheers, Radio.
Thanks, Ray.
We have a $100 donation from Crampy. Here is for OOT and your buddy's mom. Thank you for the $100 donation. $5 from Mascolino. Have to donate during Gregor's run since I learned how to MST through his great tutorial. Thanks. And $10 from Shaw. Thank you for doing all that. Thanks for doing that, all of you. I've lost one of my best friends who died because of this expletive cancer. Got another member of my family who got intestine cancer since 5 years. Keep going, things like that.
Yeah, I got shout outs to all the viewers and all the donations. I mean, it was incredible when we hit 1 million. Like, I honestly, when we hit 750K, I was amazed because we'd already almost doubled what we did last year. And just the viewers were so amazing.
It's like the biggest gap.
And all the donators. It was
It's safe everywhere.
And also, chat would like to know who's all around you. If you guys want to do a roll call.
I'm Gregor Tixelkins. It's a weird name, I know. Some people just call me Tixel. Greg.
I thought that was I thought it was like Silted City, you know, the movie.
I'm Autumn.
I'm Amber Wynn.
Regular Jimmy.
And the red blanket guy.
Tombo.
Or Pepperman or Nazi mod.
So thankfully this cutscene's almost over. This is the second longest cutscene in this category. The longest one is towards the end, but we won't have to worry about that for long.
So remember that he put through the door, which also means that the door never disappeared.
Right, the door's still there, so what we do to get around that is we just save the game and reset. So when you're Adult Link, when you start up a file, you put in the Temple of Time. So I can just save the game, reset the game, and start up, and I'm on the other side of the door.
All right, real quick, we have 2 more new donations. $10 from Pitakaris. Yo, Greg, you're a cool guy. And $5 from Swishzors. I donated a couple days ago, so this is all I can give you now. Thanks, Greg, for that amazing shout out. It means a lot. Shout out to your stupid hat.
Thanks, Swish. Alright, so now we're gonna head to the graveyard in Kakariko Village. And I need to... The thing about this category is I don't need to beat all the dungeons to beat the game. Even though I can't rung warp and I can't use RBA, I can still get into certain dungeons and temples early. So what's going to happen is I'm going to get the Shadow Medallion, beat the Shadow Temple, and beat the Spirit Temple, and then get the bow from Forest Temple because it's required to kill Ganondorf because you need the bow to use light arrows. And the reason only Shadow and Spirit is because the game activates the cutscene where you get the light arrows only from those last 2 medallions. Like, I guess they figured like, oh, okay, they're not gonna get to these temples first.
So it only checks for those 2.
It only checks for those 2 medallions, and then you can just get the light arrows and finish the game without beating any of the other temples, which is pretty interesting.
Also, you may have seen that he has a bomb icon on the C down, but he doesn't actually have any bombs, but because he didn't pick up enough items as Shylink, the game pretty much assumes that he must have gotten a bomb and put the bomb icon in. But he can't pick up bombs, he can't use any bombs, he has no bomb bag or anything.
I still have to get the bomb bag in this run, because even though it shows that they're ready, like you said, it doesn't, you can't actually pick up anything. I'm doing the Chew Slide. I would need to go to DC first to get bombs if I wanted to bomb hover in, and that's actually a little slower since I'm going up the mountain to get magic anyway. So I just do the Chew Slide in, and then I do the Chew Mega Side Hop across the gap in Shadow Temple.
This event is pretty close to these.
Yeah, that's right.
Chat would like you guys to, or chat wants you guys to speak up if that's at all possible.
Sure.
Because, yeah, we've only got the one mic, and I don't know if you guys want to like take it off or what, but
Yeah.
they have a hard time hearing you.
Bring it over here. Bring it a little closer. Alright, so I'm getting the hook shot right now because you need it. It's so useful in a ton of different things in this game. But you need it to do a lot of things. I'm not going to start naming off all the things because you'll see it as I do. Right there, what I did is I got the door to close, but I landed on the other side of it, so the game registered that I got crushed by the door.
Yes, there were some.
Because I didn't end up on the right side. So what it does, it just puts me at the beginning of the Dompe race again, which just saves some time. Now right here is the Chew Slide, and basically this trick is an interesting trick. I'll explain it in a second. So what happened was, right there, Link tried to grab a bush as the bomb chew was exploding, and I was holding shield. So the game, what happened was I tried to grab the bush, but then the bomb shoe sent me flying back at a high velocity, and because I was holding shield, I didn't actually grab the bush, so I retained that velocity and slid all the way up to the grave. Okay, good. The scene can be a little finicky. Come on. Oh, okay, we're good. And what happened was Link slid up to the grave, and then when I released shield, it tried to grab the bush again. And since I don't have Goron bracelets or any strength upgrade, I teleported back to where the bush was to try and pick it up. And the game only retained my, I guess my X and Y value, and not my height. And what happened was I just ended up hovering in midair. And the reason I didn't fall was because I also had ISG activated, which I explained before. Makes it so you don't fall if you're hovering in midair, and has a lot of weird effects on you.
Normally you have to use the Inspire
Right.
to light all the torch to get into the dungeon. But because you like went already loading so very much, the room didn't load correctly.
Mm-hmm.
It seems
Yeah.
That was actually a really good dead hand spawn. Sometimes he can spawn in between all the hands and then you have to wait for him to come out so they don't grab you, but that was pretty nice. Alright, and I need the hover boots because hover boots are used for a bunch of different things. Like that slide I did, you can actually keep that momentum and equip hover boots and use it to slide across gaps and things like that at really high speeds, and it's really useful. Alright, let's hope RNG is on my side today. Basically, in this next room, there's a truth spinner that you have to pull, and you have to line it up with one of the back 3 skulls, and normally you need Lens of Truth to see which skull is the right one, but I just kind of have to guess and hope that it's the first skull that in the back. And the game generates a random number to pick one of the back 3 skulls randomly, so we gotta hope that it's the right one. Oh, it's not the first one.
Speed to win.
Come on, base truth spinner. Give me a second try. Alright. That's not bad. That's mediocre.
Also, backwalking is faster than...
Yeah, if you haven't noticed, I run backwards a lot because it is faster. It's faster than rolling too. Side hopping, if it's frame perfect, is actually faster. But only really a taskbot can do that. Now I just have to collect these rupees in this room to open up the gate to get a small key, which I use in a different spot than I'm normally supposed to. But what I do is I skip a section of the dungeon by clipping through a gate. It's called a block skip, because it makes it so you don't have to push all the blocks around to the block puzzle. So right here, if I get just the right angle, I can jump slash clip through the gate like that. And then get right on the boat. Oop, bonk. And then jump on the boat wheel. And plays a little lullaby. Yeah, sometimes I get stuck at that gate a little bit because that angle is kind of finicky. You have to get it just right.
It is really I suspect you to do quick spin master finish.
The quick. Oh, I can't quick spin with N64 controller.
You need to have like the blindfold.
Yeah, blindfold me and I'll quick
Shout
spin.
outs to the runner guy.
I need a green blanket. Yeah, running guy.
Case.
Yeah.
Running up played through the whole game blindfold.
He did.
That was hilarious.
He did this thing that he called Wacky Wednesdays, and he just started to do all 200.
It was really impressive.
Yeah, Shadow Temple boss was really good. He was really scared of how we were doing that boss, but he nailed every spin slash.
He just did he timed it perfectly, stunned him, and just did perfect quick spins while blindfolded and killed him on the first try. It was something else.
That and water temple, probably.
Alright, so in the next room I'm gonna go get the boss key, And what happens is normally you need Din's Fire to burn the walls down in this room.